G'day New Zealand and welcome along to the KFC Big Show here on Radio Hodaki. We are live from Fortune on Fed this week, which is Sky City's latest pop-up craft beer bar. My name is Chris Key. I'll be looking after you for the next 3 or so hours. Joining me in the, not commentary position, the announcer position is Ben Hurley and also Dai Henwood.
Good afternoon. I must say I'm pretty excited. I woke up on Monday excited about this because I was locked in pretty early. I was sort of getting fizzing. I knew we were going to be outside. We're amongst the people. It's a good day to be alive.
And you know all about the Big Show, of course, Di. It's your debut appearance, but you know about it. It does what it says on the tin.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big show.
A lot of stuff in it, a lot of content. You can bring us some content?
Yeah, I mean, one of my big things in life was content. When I was growing up, Mum and Dad said to me, "You're going to be good at content."
Yeah, great. Chris, you'll be wrangling the said content?
Yeah. Look, in terms of content, the one thing I'm looking forward to the most is, Di, you were saying before we went on air that you had a great story about a platypus, and you said you'd tell that about after 5 o'clock or something.
Absolutely. And growing up, platypi were my favourite animals, and I've been involved with them lately, so I'm looking forward to shedding some light on that.
One day I hope they give all the bits they're made out of back to the animals that they stole them from.
That is a weird animal, actually, a hybrid animal, but we'll save that for Platypus Chat just after 5. If you
Is
are...
that a new segment? Platypus Chat.
I love Platypus Chat.
I'm just reading what's on the paper here. If
Okay.
you are in the area in Auckland or within driving distance of Auckland, which, by the way, is everywhere in New Zealand, come down
You
to...
just alienated the entire country.
Come down to Fortune on Fed. The first person here wins themselves a $150 food and beverage voucher. So you don't want to hang about. You want to get stuck in. Also, later on, you'll have your chance to win some KFC.
Should we give them a word to say or something? Like
Okay,
a secret password.
It can't just be someone who's literally around us who can physically hear us.
Okay.
You've got to have heard this over the
You
radio.
have to, we'll say it quietly.
So you whisper a word into the...
Okay. Platypus.
Yeah.
You have to come up, you whisper platypus to die, and then you'll get yourself a $150 food and beverage voucher. Of course, after 6 o'clock, we've got the DJ A-Hole Big Banger of the Week. And just after 5, after Platypus Chat, you will have a chance to win yourself some KFC. For now, though, gents, should we get into some tunes?
Love it.
It's big.
Here's a tune. It is the KFC Big Show here on Radio Hodaki. Chris Key, Dai Henwood and Ben Hurley. We are down outside Fortune on Fed. And guys, there is some serious visual content happening around us, isn't there?
It's great to be outside, first and foremost, in the sort of twilight of the summer. But there seems to be a situation happening in front of us. If I may describe it for the listener, of course you can view this as well, but the camera's just on us. You can't see what's happening around us. There's a huge police presence. We are across the road from the Sky City Grand Hotel, which is one of the nicer hotels, you would say, in the Central City area here in Tamaki Makaurau. Now, we've got, I would say, half a dozen police motorcycles to our left. And I would say I'm saying I want to estimate how many police cars there are, but I'm literally going to count that there are 4.
Really?
Yeah.
4 and 6 motorbikes?
Yeah.
We don't know. We assume this. There's also 2 what look like Crown limousines.
Yeah, late model BMWs.
So,
I mean, one guy came up to me before, just a guy off the street, and said, "Is this for you guys?"
Well, see, this is, to be honest, this is my, I got the call up to first grade this week to be here.
Yes.
You know, I put the training in. I didn't know what to expect. I knew we were recording off-site at...
You've been doing reserve grade mid-dawns for the last 3 weeks.
Exactly. Dawn till dusk on student radio for the last 22 years, and I finally got the call up. Got here, and I thought, crikey Dick, this is how they roll. We've got Joe Jury here with a little old Canon Handycam, and then a massive police presence. And then we sit down and no, it is a dignitary. I haven't heard anyone's in town though.
Or a celebrity, and it would have to be a big celebrity to be.
Chrissy Teigen, she just gave up Twitter, so we don't know where she is.
That's true. Could be Chrissy Teigen giving us some.
That would
helpful
be my
home hints.
guess. It's Chrissy Teigen, the Prime Minister, or Shakira, I'd say.
I'm going. Oh, now that you mentioned Shakira, actually,
Those hips don't lie. That's the issue.
precisely. But there's a lot of milling around going on from everyone outside. No one's really giving away what's happening. Maybe there's some sort of big political thing happening today. I don't know.
It could be Naz. Do you remember her?
From The Bachelor.
Yeah, because she has come back, controversially got a MIQ spot, an emergency MIQ spot. So could be her or maybe not.
Next week on my cricket show, The Late Cut, we have our awards. So it could be people, somebody involved with that, lobbying for catch of the year or maybe haircut of the year.
These are all fantastic guesses, guys.
Yeah,
That seemed quite sarcastic then.
No, it's just...
That seemed quite dismissive.
Ben, it definitely could be a Plunkett Shield cricketer.
It definitely could, buddy. But if you've got any suggestions, 3483, please do send them through.
I'm triggered by that.
We'll let Ben cool down for a wee bit. I'm not being sarcastic.
You're being dismissive.
That was being too angry then as well, actually.
That was being defensive.
Yeah, or it could be someone from the Super Smash. We don't know.
Exactly. Thank you, Dai.
We have literally...
Logan Van Beek, maybe?
Could be Logan Van Beek. It's a good point. It still sounds a bit sarcastic, doesn't it? I'm trying. I'm working on it.
Well, the Halbergs happened this week. It could be... I don't know, it could be a middle distance runner finally getting their time in the sun.
Nick Willis. He's middle distance, isn't he?
He loves a hotel room with the free Wi-Fi.
He certainly does.
He certainly does swim his way out of that one.
Speaking of which, actually, I believe we've got some music for you now. This is Celebrity Skin Hole. Oh, it is the ACC Big Show on Radio Hodaki, brought to you by KFC. You've got Chris Key here, Ben Hurley, and Dai Henwood, boys. And as we described earlier, we're sitting outside Fortune on Fed, which is a new pop-up bar on Federal Street here in the city centre up in Auckland, across the road from the Grand Hotel, where there is some sort of massive event happening.
Yeah, it does seem like there's some sort of dignitary, celebrity, some sort of a very important person of some description. A bit of speculation as to who it might be. Some people that have been thrown up already, Shakira, possibly.
Is it a Breakers import?
Yeah, a possible Breakers import. Still word out whether it is one of the Northern District's Knights or one of the Central District Stags.
Could be.
Yeah. Now, still very sarcastic there, Chris Key.
Damn it.
So we've had a few suggestions coming in on the text. One is the Aussie Prime Minister, ScoMo.
ScoMo's in town. Is he in town? I don't have my finger on the pulse enough.
Would he have to? He'd have to do MIQ and everything, wouldn't he? He'd have to do isolation for 2 weeks.
He couldn't come in. They'd have to meet mid-air and have a plane-to-plane chat. Probably easier just to do a Zoom call, though, to be honest.
Yeah, probably than a plane-to-plane mid-air meeting. Another suggestion is the Wiggles.
So, yeah, well, that would fit in because there is a new Wiggle in
yes,
town,
there
a
is.
Local Wiggle who happens to be legendary sports star Richie McCaw.
Oh, what did he play?
Is there anything he can't do? He's an adventure racer.
He's a helicopter pilot,
yeah.
ex-All Black.
Yes, of course I know who he is, but he in this... For those of you who don't know who the Wiggles, who don't have kids are or whatever, the Wiggles are a very important, influential Australian band behind Midnight Oil, AC/DC. They come in third in the rankings of Australian musicians. And now Richie McCaw has joined them as a bagpipist.
I believe we've got some audio of it.
Okay.
That's Richie McCaw on the bagpipes.
I mean, literally what can't he do?
Well, he's a fireman as well.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got an amazing flat top. Well, he was
can
a
roll his
step-in
tongue.
fireman.
He's one of those people. He can roll their tongue.
Yeah.
He can wolf whistle. Never
Really?
does, though.
No, of course not.
Never does.
Can't play representative rugby league, though. But so there is everyone's kryptonite.
3483 if you've got any suggestions as to who is at the Grand Hotel, some sort of dignitary. I've got a funny story about the hotel, guys. Should I use this content here or should I save it for in a wee bit?
Save it, but also no one's come and got this voucher yet, have they? With the secret password.
The secret password. Okay, the password is platypus.
Platypus.
So if you come up to us and say platypus, we're at Fortune on Fed, which is a pop-up bar outside Sky City's Grand Hotel. We'll give you a $150 food and beverage voucher. Right now, guys, I could really go for some Kimbros.
Kimbros, as we call them.
Out of control. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Can you see, Joe? I was at the Rolling Stones. I think it was, Dai, on the ACC Big Show, brought
Feels
to you
like
by
it to me.
KFC. And we're down here at Fortune on Fed, which is a pop-up craft beer bar. We wanted someone to come up to us and say platypus. Lo and behold, Dai, a dangerous-looking ute that is jacked up on 22-inch rims, just skidded down Federals here, pulled in, and someone was yelling platypus out the window like a mad person. That person is Kath. Welcome along to the show.
Kath,
Thank you.
awesome.
So congratulations, Kath. You get a $150 voucher to spend here. Driving down the street yelling platypus.
I did
Did you-
actually get out of the car first.
Yeah, she got out of the car. She came towards us. I was really hoping she was going to say platypus. Otherwise, you had a look of intention on you.
I did.
And so where have you been before this?
Dropping my husband off at fishing.
And you're saying to me he's away for the whole weekend.
He is away for the weekend.
Well, you got some plans. Are you going to use this voucher all by yourself or
No,
get some other
no,
people involved?
Food is for sharing.
Food's for sharing.
That's what we like.
Thanks, Kath. We appreciate it. We won't eat too much. We'll, 50-50-50 situation. So are you gonna stick around tonight, or are you gonna take it away and do something later on, or
I need to move my car.
what? Ben Hurley, actually, for those of you that aren't watching us right now, Ben Hurley is currently leaning on your ute whilst wearing a Steady the Ship hat. He looks like a valet parker.
Oh, to me, he looks more. He's got the casual lean of a road worker. He's texting his mate. He's just sort of leaning there, waiting for the other guys to show up. He looks pretty at home on your ute, to be honest.
It's okay. I don't mind taking him home.
Oh.
I like the thing about Ben as well. He's got a lot of authority about him as well. He's telling people to just keep their distance from the ute. Don't mark it. It's an important ute.
He's got his own car keys out too, like
Oh,
it
I like
says. I like it.
Yeah.
So that's what happens if you come down to bloody Fortune on Fed and you yell platypus. You get free stuff. That's how it works.
Hey,
Kath.
but even if you don't have a voucher, they do $10 crafties all day.
Do they?
Absolutely awesome place. And if you need a feed, they're getting food from across the road at the grill. So make your way down here anytime.
Get stuck in. Kath, thank you very much for joining us on the ACC Big Show.
And thank you guys.
No
Round
worries
of
at all.
applause to you, Kath.
Big
You
round of
take care of
applause.
yourself.
Bye.
Time for some ads now. It is the KFC Big Show here on Radio Hodaki. You've got Chris Key, Dai Henwood and Ben Hurley. And boys, we're outside Fortune on Fed, which is a great little pop-up bar on Federal Street in the centre of Auckland. If you're in the neighbourhood, please come by.
Classy too. There's people reading books.
Is someone reading a book?
It's not just people getting,
Oh, no, it's the upper class.
Getting S-faced.
Well, that's the Hodaki effect. If you bring us along, these are the kind of people we will attract.
High-end people who are over there reading literally a novel.
I think that is the Dao Di Ching they are reading by Lao Tzu.
Oh, that's
probably,
good spotting.
Or it is the new Jack Reacher, I'm not that sure.
Yeah, it could be the Da Vinci Code.
Well, look, speaking of very classy people, I believe we've got James McConey on the line. James, come in. James, are you there, James?
Hello there. My money's on those people getting shit-faced as well, actually.
Can't hear any. So. Can you guys hear James McConey?
No, I can't hear any James McConey.
All right, we might have to pull some technical switches and change things up. James, if you're listening, we'll come back to you shortly, mate. In the meantime, boys, how would you feel about a cracking piece of content about the hotel we're sitting out in front of?
I'd love to hear this. It's been teased.
Sounds like it's in my wheelhouse.
It definitely is in your wheelhouse. It's something that I thought of when I thought about you guys. It was actually Radio Hodaki. We were here 2 years ago for the Radio Awards. We were all staying up in the top floor here.
Sober affair, no doubt.
100% sober affair. That's why you get a hotel room, even though you all live in Auckland. Now, we were in the lift on the way down at about 8 o'clock. All of us, Jeremy Wells, Boujar was on at that time as well, so everyone was there. There's about 18 of us. The doors opened halfway down. In walks number 13 for the Melbourne Storm, Nelson Asafa Solomona.
A legendary unit and an enormous unit.
An enormous unit. And we were
Jeremy Wells had no idea who
Nobody
that was.
had any idea who it was except for me.
Right.
And if you don't know who he is, he's a 6'8", 130 kilo, the biggest man to play rugby league ever, probably.
Wonderful, out of the Napier Hastings region.
Is he? So he walked in and sucked the life out of a lift that has probably 3 or 4 hours of getting on the steam, and just killed the vibe completely. It was dead silent
because he was sober and a beautiful athlete
and massive.
And he's quite a not intimidating in a negative way, but he carries a lot of mana around him.
Oh, so much excess mana. I think he had a bellboy with him. And he basically went down a few floors, hopped out again, and everyone was just like, who was that? And
you knew he was someone, even though you didn't know him.
But it turns out that was when the Kiwis were here to play. So like Nathan Kalis was down in the lounge having a beer, and
Ben and I actually worked for the Melbourne Storm to celebrate Nelson Asafa Solomona when they played the Dragon. Tohu Harris as well. It was Tohu. I got that completely wrong.
It was completely wrong story.
I will just step back. I'll rescind everything I said. My main thing is I'm so focused on Platypus Chat, which is coming up after 5, that I can't believe. To be honest, I should hand in my rugby league card for getting that mixed up. They were both great Kiwi players who play for Melbourne. This is really embarrassing, guys.
Oh, look, it's all right. We'll
stay in your lane, Platypus guy.
We'll do what we do whenever someone just makes a wee stuff up. We'll throw on some Tom Petty running down a dream. It is the ACC Big Show.
I've never seen you so upset.
It is the KFC Big Show on Radio Hodaki with Chris Key, Dai Henwood and Ben Hurley. And guys, look, it's almost 5 o'clock, which means it's almost time for the KFC drive-through. Although, I'm thinking, seeing as we're sort of on the scene outside Fortune on Fed, we should do a walk-through instead.
Great idea.
Get some actual humans through the show somehow and give them some free chicken.
I reckon this is a good spot.
It's a great spot. It's certainly happening. It's a great place to be on a Friday night. It's people finish work. Everyone is feeling good.
Even if you can't make it here, though, you can catch up with Fortune on Fed at the Craft Beer Festival.
Really?
Tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow, Saturday in Auckland.
Oh, it's Spark Arena.
Because in this beautiful country of ours, we're not locked down.
Amazing, isn't it?
You can go out, you can get to festivals.
Oh, man.
But we know, Chris, there's a lot of content coming up after 5.
There is a lot of top-notch content. Content that you won't only be content with.
Massive fan of content, mate. Both listening to it and creating it.
Well, you're going to create and share some content about platypus.
Yes.
Some pre-planned platypus content.
Exactly. They don't call me the platypussy for nothing.
Yes. We've also got this KFC walkthrough, which you've also mentioned.
Sponsored content.
Sponsored content. Musical content.
We've got musical content on the way as well. I believe you've got some current affairs content.
Yes,
content.
Sporting content will be up just after 5.
Yeah, so stick around on the ACC Big Show for that.
Yes, in the sports news, the Hurricanes will be looking to bounce back after their loss last week when they take on the Highlanders at the Sistema Lunchbox, or Forsyth Bar Stadium as it's otherwise known, tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. You can catch the ACC commentary of the game on your Sky Yellow button. The Black Caps are looking good to wrap up their 28th straight victory. That sounds like a joke, but it's their 28th straight victory against the Bangladesh side. The last time we checked with Cricinfo, which I'm about to do right now, Bangladesh are
77 for 4.
77 for 4, chasing the Black Caps 318. 2 centuries in that innings, 1 to Devon. 3-way, 1 to son of a Mitch, getting it off the last ball. Devon 3-way, who scored his maiden ODI century for the Black Caps this afternoon, had his car coned in by the rest of the team. We are yet to hear a word about his reactions, but with his South African sense of humour, I'm sure he will find it very funny. That is the sports news.
It is the KFC Big Show. Welcome along to Radio Hodaki. If you've just joined us, it's just gone 4 minutes past 5. My name is Chris Key. I've also got Ben Hurley down here and Dai Henwood. And when I say down here, gents, I mean Fortune on Fed, where someone's just dropped a big old bowl of chutney.
And it's because it's starting to pack up down here, this little pop-up bar. There's getting a bit of a vibe in the air on a Friday evening.
And when you say drop some chutney, that does sound like a euphemism for something far worse than what has actually happened, which is literally some chutney got dropped.
Yeah, someone tipped some chutney off a platter. That
could even past. Be an exotic turmeric spice gnocchi, but you know, we're yet to test.
Drop some chutney sounds like it's something you'd say to your dad in the car on a long trip. Dad, did you drop the chutney?
I must say I've never embraced chutney.
What about piccalilli?
Yeah.
I don't like a piccalilli. I love a pickle. I love a gherkin. I like a sauerkraut.
But you don't like you don't even like I was going to say a pickle, but not that kind of pickle. Like a pickle that you spread.
No, I'd rather just put tomato sauce on my toast than muck around with chutney.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not some of your la-di-da Anne Boleyn types. I'm a salt-of-the-earth Kiwi here who just likes tomato sauce on toast.
I don't think there's much more Kiwi than a bit of bloody cheese and pickle sandwich. That is the South Island delicacy is what that is.
What, that's a ploughman's lunch, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm too busy ploughing to have lunch. So put that in your Anne Boleyn and...
Well, look.
there we go. See, speechless is what happens when you want to step to me.
Well, the good news is, guys, I'm just going through the aware agenda we've got here. I can cross off chutney chat.
Yeah.
So that was a good
chutney content.
Chutney content, of course it was. Up next, though, we've got some sponsored free content. It is the KFC Big drive-through where usually we'd get people to call us on 0800 Hodaki. You'd go through the KFC drive-through and you'd win yourself some chicken. What we're going to do instead is reward the thousands of bloody great New Zealanders who are down here with us at Fortune on Fed. We'll get one of these people, hopefully that's not too steamed, to walk through the drive-through and get themselves some free chicken.
Which, of course, you can't legally do in an actual drive-through.
No, you can't.
No.
You can't even go on a bicycle.
No.
Try it on a bicycle.
I feel like we've covered this before, but it's a health and safety issue. So let us go into the fantasy realm and fulfill all those desires that we still have to walk through a drive-through, and let's do it virtually.
I've just remembered where we discussed this last.
Where?
The KFC Big Show 2
weeks
ago. It was while teasing the drive-through.
But that's the thing. There might be people down here at
Fortune on Fed.
Fortune on Fed, and they're enjoying a fresh pale ale. It's got flavours of like bit of citrus fruit up front, and then you've got a coconut up your back. It's they've got a lot of flavour notes.
It just rolled off the top of your lobe, didn't it?
I know, that's the thing with me. When this is when you stay off the chutney out there, boys and girls. You have the wonderful diction of someone like myself.
So more of Dai Henwood's diction up next on the ACC Big Show. For now, though.
And platypus.
And platypus chat.
Don't forget about platypus chat.
Yeah, that's all the way next on the Hodaki Big Show. Oh, was that the Violent Femmes, Blister in the Sun? I think it was.
I mean, I've never heard that song before, but it sounds great. Is it new?
It's not new, but it should be added to your rotation, Ben Hurley. It is the ACC Big Show brought to you by KFC. You've got Chris, Keith, Ben Hurley. Dai Henwood is temporarily just taking a quick break. He's just loading himself up on Platypus Facts. But right now it is time for the KFC Big Show. Have we got a sort of sting or something for this?
Hello and welcome to the big KFC drive-through.
I'm going to guess something played just then.
Did something just play then? I have no idea.
Yeah,
okay, brilliant.
right.
Now, how this is going to work is usually we'd have people call through on 0800 Hodaki. Today, we're here in person. We're amongst the people. We want to get the people on air. That's why we're doing the big KFC walkthrough. So we've got Kate, who's just joined us. Hi, Kate.
Hey, how you going?
Yeah, great, Kate.
Good.
Listen, what we want you to do is just drive up to the speaker box that looks strangely like Ben Hurley and just place a KFC order, all right?
Wonderful.
So when you're ready.
Sounds good.
Welcome to KFC. Place your order when you're ready.
Hi, can I please have a popcorn chicken snack box?
Okay, so that's a pepper mayo twister, a bean salad, 3 wicked wings, and a bottle of gravy. Thanks, mate.
Done. Kate, that is all coming your way. Fantastic.
Amazing, thank you.
No worries. That's just continuing to make people's lives.
So good.
Kate, if you could just move through the drive-through
Perfect.
and let the next customer through, next car coming through the big KFC walk-through here. What's your name, sir?
Venna.
Venna. We've got Venna. All right, Venna.
Hi, Venna.
Feel
Hi.
free to enter the KFC walk-through when you're ready.
Welcome to KFC. Place your order when you're ready.
Hi, can I get a 20-piece family pack?
That's 7 Diet Cokes, a 9-piece pack, 3 large chips, and a bucket of coleslaw. Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
So Venna and Kate, 2 delicious meals of KFC coming their way. And I got to say, Ben, I don't know if I want to go back to the big KFC drive-through. The walk-through is the way to go.
I think it's the future. It's the past. It's the future. It's not the present.
It's delicious, whatever it is. We've nailed it. Thank you very much, Venna, by the way. You can drive your car at the drive-through now. Thanks, mate. Bloody legend. All right, let's play some more tunes on the ACC Big Show. It's the ACC Big Show brought to you by KFC. We are down at Fortune on Fed, which is a great little craft beer pop-up on Federal Street in the middle of Auckland. You've got Chris Key here along with Ben Hurley and Dai Henwood.
And it's still a lot of security around here. Still wondering who the VIP is in the Sky City Grand. Not a lot of guesses outside of the Wiggles.
No.
Ariana Grande is one guess.
Well, that's a good guess. I mean, not that the Hodaki audience would know who that is, would they?
I'm not sure. Will Williams, medium pacer for the Canterbury Kings,
Could be him.
Been suggested.
Oh, I'm thinking it could be that. It might be an ex-Marcos player. The verdict's out. It could be anyone. It could be the Christchurch Wizard. He's getting married.
But that's not why you're called, Dai Henwood, because you have some platypus content for us, I believe.
Yeah, I believe we might also have a platypus sting or something just to set us up for the break.
That's what a platypus sounds like, apparently.
So, Dai Henwood, take it away. Platypus
There we
chat.
go. That song was played at my wedding. I'm a big platypus sound effects guy.
It's great.
Now, the platypus is an underrated animal. In fact, people think of them, they're quite small. They used to be giants.
Really?
They used to be massive. And did you know the platypus has a bill?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And that bill is a sixth sense.
In what way?
It can detect and understand electromagnetic fields.
It can get Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's like a clairvoyant.
Like it, Bruce Willis was dead the whole time kind of situation? Or
Oh, has it had the vaccine already? Is that one of the powers you get when you get the vaccine?
Yeah, there have been 0 cases of COVID in the platypus community.
There you go.
They have been lucky enough to have no lockdowns. They've been out and about. And also, this is probably my favourite fact about a platypus. A platypus mammal lays eggs. It is also a monotreme, which is Greek for a single hole unit, right? So it's just got one hole.
One hole.
The platypus has one hole
That does everything.
that does everything.
everything? Or like
Yeah.
everything?
In Latin, it's like an any holes goal situation. So it's one hole
Yeah.
for eggs, for
Pooping,
yes,
Eating?
talking.
yes. It's the single hole.
It poops out its talk hole.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to bring the scientific
I think it's
terms into
monotreme,
it.
by the way. It's not monotreme.
True, mate. Isn't that like a makeup brand or something?
No, it's like it was a show about.
Yeah, I watched Treme, the show recently, which is made by David Simon, who made The Wire.
about jazz.
Yeah, about jazz in New Orleans. So I went monotreme. It doesn't sound that great. And to finish it off, you look at platypus, right? Platypi, platypussy, depends how you want to say it.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, I want to give them a cuddle, right? Well,
Yes.
don't. They've got venomous spurs. However,
Spurs?
yeah,
Like on their boots.
yeah, venomous spurs. They're like cowboys have, except
Yeah.
their ones are poisonous. And also, they're waterproof.
Well, they're aquatic, aren't they? They're like an otter or something.
Yes, which makes their waterproofness very useful.
Well, there you go. That was platypus content with Dai Henwood. Could we get that sting one more time, please? Just.
Also, I don't want to really divert you to listen to other things, but I do have This Week in Platypus, which is a podcast that goes out sort of biannually.
Yeah.
So you're set to subscribe and auto-download.
Yeah, iHeartRadio if you want to get This Week in Platypus.
It's a large share platypus.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Have you been to our restaurant before? We do large share platypuses here. Yeah.
Guys, platypus content, 10 out of 10, must say.
5 stars would trade again.
5 stars. We'll trade again based off what's coming in on the text machine, by the way. 3483. Fans are loving it. It is
well.
time to take a quick break on the KFC Big Show. Just quickly, though, it's all thanks to KFC, of course, and KFC are trying to look for the biggest Super Rugby fan in New Zealand. If you think you know someone, go to KFC's Facebook page to nominate them there for the KFC Golden Bucket.
Also,
Wild card.
KFC bucket is a monotreme bucket, single hole.
Single hole. And wildcard, biggest Super Rugby fan in the country? Mad Butcher. Wildcard.
Welcome back to Radio Hodaki. It is the ACC Big Show brought to you by KFC. You've got Chris, Keith, Dai Henwood and Ben Hurley. We're down at Fortune on Fed, where I tell you what, looking around, a lot of cool-looking frogs.
Yes, interesting you mentioned dogs, because this is a dog-friendly pop-up bar. You come down here, you bring your dog, you get a photo of your dog, you pop it on the wall. I'm a dog owner. You?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
I grew up with one.
You're a dog owner?
Certainly am, yeah.
If I can talk to other dog owners out there, I was taking my dog for a walk this morning. You know, a dog stops to do its business,
Yeah.
right?
So
Before the dog...
Do its GST in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do the full, got it zero out,
Yeah.
started doing the accounts.
Yeah, a lot easier if you sign up with zero, yeah.
No, it was to do a number 2,
Oh, okay.
right? It stopped. Before the dog had even got into position, a person out of nowhere shows up. Are you going to pick that up, mate?
That's the
I've got-
worst.
You can visually see I've got the bloody thing with the
That's
bags
the
on
thing.
it.
I do that as well. I get the bag out, I'm like waving it above my head going, because if one person says that, I'm going to bite.
See,
And I'm going to bite hard.
the thing with wrapping up dog poos in a bag that I don't like is dog poo's very good fertilizer, right?
Yeah.
Great fertilizer. The dog does it on the ground, stuff's going to grow, it's fantastic. What we do is we pick it up, wrap it in plastic, throw it away so that exists forever. I think everyone should just let the poos be.
I've gone the compostable bag.
Oh, is it
Yeah,
such a
yeah,
thing?
Yeah,
Go to
yeah.
the
Ah,
compostable
okay.
bag, mate.
So then,
Where I live, I live near a beach, Waihi Beach, and it's a strange coincidence. The bit of the beach you're allowed to have your dog off the leash
Yeah.
is the same bit of the beach where it's okay to be nude.
Oh.
So it's, you're just there the whole time. You're like, get out of it! Get your nose out of it! Get your nose out of it! And the dog's pretty bad too.
but that's so, how liberating. Get the dog off the leash, whip off your gears. That sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah.
It's bit of you.
I've never been a nude beach guy.
Nor have I.
I'm just
But
not.
hey, it's the only place I can take the dog and let him off the leash, so I got to go.
I've been wondering why you moved to Waihi Beach. It's all
Yeah.
starting to make sense. But look, just on that topic, I believe we've got Plug-in Baby by Muse next.
That is a...
That's a segue there.
God, you went to broadcasting
Yeah, I
school
did.
and you'd aced that.
Pinch and seam.
It is the KFC Big Show on Radio Hodaki. That was Midnight Oil Beds Are Burning. You've got Chris Key, you've got Ben Hurley, and you've also got Dai Henwood. And we're down at Fortune on Fed.
Yes, we are. We're having a lovely time here, and we've had a question come through. Di, how long does a platypus live for?
Well, basically they can only measure the ones in captivity. The ones in captivity live for about 17 years.
Well, does that mean the ones in the wild you'd have to shave off a few years because captivity, no predators?
Yeah, but you've also got a more chilled out environ.
Ah, and you think that's bad for their life?
Yeah, but then in captivity it's been shown there was a zoo, I think, in Eastern Europe that, there hasn't been any visitors going to the zoo, right?
Oh, okay.
So all primates were starting to get severely depressed, and they've had to put up massive big screens with humans on them.
Okay.
Because they really enjoy having the human contact.
Yeah.
Or they've just been sort of drilled into it.
A bit like when we've been watching sport in this COVID era, and they've put people's faces on the seats to make it look like there's a crowd.
Yeah, the basketball does that, and the wrestling.
Yeah, the league was doing it.
Well, even before they started doing that in the COVID era where there was no sport at all, they started putting on old games of sport so that people like us would have, we'd be able to watch stuff and simulate the reality.
Hey, I must say, down here at Fortune on Fed, it's coming into its own. Tinkerbell's wardrobe's coming out with all the beautiful fairy lights.
Oh, it's magical, isn't it?
It's a magical time of night for sure. It's the twilight. In fact, speaking of twilight, I had to move my parents' house recently.
Oh, this reminds me of being at varsity moving houses.
Yeah, except when you're at university, or when you're that age moving house, you've got like a bed and, our age died, probably 1,500 CDs and in crates. And that was basically
and an enormous Iowa stereo that looks like the Millennium Falcon that you spend your entire student loan on.
That's correct. And also probably some stolen street signs that you don't want to get rid of.
I abided by the law, but whatevs.
Whatever. All right. He does, actually. Did you know that, Chris Key? He's never crossed the road unless he's a green man.
You're joking?
Well, the thing is, that's part of the law of this country, of Aotearoa.
Nerd. So anyway, I had to move my folks' house, which is, I love my parents and I help out. But it's either my immediate family, meaning my wife and children, or my parents. I'm not helping anybody else. It is the hugest ask to ask somebody to move.
And because back in the day, it used to be all about hey, come help us move. We'll give you some food.
Yeah, box of beers.
And a box of beers. But that was when it was a flat and maybe one person was moving out. You just get people to help you with your bed, and you're moving to another flat. But
your CDs and your Iowa stereo. It's one trip in a service station, caged trailer. But when you get to boomer age, it is. There's a lot of stuff.
A semi-truck.
There's a truck. I had a hire trailer as well.
So you got a tow ball on your car?
Yes.
Did you hit your shin on it?
No, I have previously though.
Oh, how good's that feeling, eh?
But no, look at my arms. I look like I'm a junkie. I got stuff all up my arms. I got bruises.
You've
got phenomenal veins though.
Well,
you've got really hot veins.
Are you saying I'd make a good junkie?
No, I just say you got hot.
If I wanted to.
Has anyone asked to lick your veins?
I don't want to talk about it.
Sweet as, but thanks for showing me those.
And for the listeners that didn't have the pleasure of seeing Ben Hurley's forearms, it's like the forearms of a tradie who's been working 72 hours straight.
And given what I do for a living, and my hands are as soft as
they really are.
It also looks like he puts out durries on his forearm.
So yeah, I don't feel I went above and beyond because it's my parents. But if look, I love you, Di, but if you need to move, call to move.
So I've actually done that. I've had a family member ask, can you help move? And I've actually said, no, but I will pay for half the movers.
That is next level.
I've had a good year. What can I say, guys?
After 6 o'clock on the ACC Big Show with Ben Hurley, Dai Henwood and Chris Key, we've got DJ A-Hole's big banger of the week.
Plus, we want to sort out what's going on around here. There's some sort of dignitary situation.
We'll update you on who we think the VIP might be.
Yeah, there's police everywhere, limousines. So more into that after the 6 o'clock hour.
Maybe Joseph Mugabe.